Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome to another subscriber gift unboxing episode, as today we're going to be taking a look at quite a few figures that I recently just got in the mail, given by none other than the well-known subscriber, aka Santa Samson, aka Mr. Samson. So thank you so much for these amazing gifts, because holy shit, these are some of the most craziest and awesome figures that I have in my collection, and I cannot wait to talk about it. Now in this particular video, we can see that there are some other figures here, but we're going to specifically look at the armored Cobra Commander, as that's the one that I'm really excited to see, because the armored Cobra Commander was a figure that I've been anxiously waiting for since the classified line has started, so I cannot wait to review that one. And then we'll take a look at the other Biker Mice from Mars figures at another later time, once we get waves 2 and 3 and all the other figures that I've pre-ordered as well. So until that time happens, we'll save those for later, but for now we'll take a look at the armored Cobra Commander. So first and foremost, I do want to just take a look at these awesome G.I. Joe little stand-ins, which looks pretty cool. I mean, it's like we have the classic Snake Eyes, we have, or I shouldn't say classic, more of the Operation Blackout Snake Eyes, and it has like a nice stand to it. So I would probably use this for my Monopoly board game, and it does come with a nice little holographic card there in the back. Pretty cool, and there's only 3 characters associated to this, so very nice little pieces to add onto display in the collection. And then we also have Duke in his Operation Blackout uniform with the new yellow and green design. We can see there's the card there in the back. So I would probably keep these in package because I just like the way they look. I mean, these are one of those things where you don't see too often, and I had no idea these even existed. So very cool nonetheless. And last but not least, we have the Cobra Commander, part of the Operation Blackout video game, and you can see he has the newer updated design, so pretty awesome. And what better way than to enjoy Cobra Commander than with the armored version. So can't wait to talk about that. But otherwise, I like the design of this one. It's just, you know, it took a long time to get used to, but it's still decent for what it is. And then we have the Biker Mice from Mars Vinny figure from the Nacelle company. And for those who don't own these figures, I highly suggest you buy them, because they are probably one of the most greatest articulated figures that I've seen in a very long time. And I'm a huge fan of the Biker Mice from Mars series from the Nacelle company, and these were great adaptations from the old Galoob line. So if you don't own these, I highly suggest you get them because they are great. So when I pre-ordered the other figures, I will review these at another time, but for now I'll keep these in package because they just look so damn cool, and I just love how smooth they all feel in hand. So that's really great attention to detail there. And then we also have Moto, who's the tallest one of the group, and again, they're all just fantastic sculpted, very great, and very cartoon accurate. So if you haven't seen the old 90s cartoon of Biker Mice from Mars, I highly suggest you watch it, because it's probably one of the most coolest shows, very, you know, chill, and it's very reminiscent to a great storyline involving them back on Mars, and a lot of their characteristics in terms of the eye patch and then the cybernetic arm really makes a difference and gives you an idea of what these characters went through back on Mars before they crash landed on Earth. And last but not least, we have Throttle, who's the leader of the group, and he had a very nice storyline within the Mars concept for the Freedom Fighters, so we'll talk more about this once we get the other 3 figures that I pre-ordered that will release in 2026. So this is kind of like a little tease in terms of what to expect in the future, but for now, these figures are all great, and they all have their signature artwork. I think the Nacelle company is doing a very great job at giving us these characters from the beloved 90s cartoon, so we'll come back to these at a future time. So after I finished recording my review, I ended up forgetting that there was one more figure in the box, and that's the retro carded Flint G.I. Joe classified figure. And we all know that there was supposed to be a variant Flint card art that just released, but this is not it. This is just the regular version. So regardless, I'm very appreciative of getting a retro carded Flint figure, because I never had this in my actual G.I. Joe classified collection. So Mr. Samson, thank you so much for including this in there. And I forgot to add this in the thumbnail, so I deeply apologize. But just to quickly take a look at the figure, much better head sculpt. I mean, I do like the original version too, but at least this one looks nice. And I will say the whole outfit is very reminiscent to the classic G.I. Joe original O-ring figure. So other than that, it looks good. I mean, it's a little bit more slimmer, but I don't know. I kind of like it the way it is in the package. I mean, it looks pretty good, and we won't discuss the artwork there. But otherwise, there's the other 3 figures, part of the line, CoverGirl and Televiper, all part of the retro wave. But other than that, my apologies for forgetting to add this into the thumbnail and to the actual unboxing, but here it is. I wanted to just quickly include this in the video. So once again, Mr. Sampson, thank you for this figure. Alright, so the moment that I've been waiting for, holy moly, it is the armored Cobra Commander, or Cobra Commander with combat armor. And this is one of those figures that I've been heavily attached to since I was a kid collecting GI Joes, and the thing is that I was a huge fan of the armored version of Cobra Commander before the hood and helmeted version, so this is my favorite adaptation of Cobra Commander. So let's see if this actually delivers in the classified scale. So we can see here that we have the figure there, GI Joe, all that stuff, Cobra Commander, number 168 in the line. You can see he's got nice packaging art. That's pretty good. Same stuff there. On the back we can see some of the accessories that he comes with, and then just the more digital art, and then all the mumbo jumbo and all that other stuff in the back. So let's go ahead and open this figure up. Let's take a look at the accessories first, and then we'll take a look at Cobra Commander. Alright, looking at the accessories first, Cobra Commander does come with interchangeable hands. So he has one pointing hand, which does look pretty decent. It's sculpted very well. It's got the nice silvers on the blacks. And then he does have two fisted hands, which I think I might use one of them for one of the poses, but it's detailed and sculpted pretty well. He does come with a black weapon, which is sculpted pretty well and is very reminiscent to the 2001 2-pack that came with Laser Viper, so this one's pretty decent, not too bad. He does come with a silver backpack, which a lot of people don't really know how to utilize this or even know what this really does. So some people say it's like a jetpack, some people say it's just like an armor piece to equip other accessories, but whatever the situation is with this backpack, it is sculpted pretty well, and whether it's upside down or not, some people have had trouble with this one, but it's still decent with the blacks and silvers, and I like how it's more on the silver side compared to the muted grays, which were always my nitpicks of classified, but it's still decent for what it is. So I like this. I mean, it's not too bad. Let's just hope that it actually stays pegged onto the actual figure. He does come with an alternate Cobra Commander head sculpt where his eyes are more on the human form. So we know that in the DiC series that Cobra Commander transformed from the snake from the 1987 movie back to a slight human form, but then once Copperhead gave him the helmet or the new armored version of the costume, his scaly skin, which was supposed to be all green, ends up looking human skin, which made absolutely no sense, but that was part of the cartoon. But otherwise, the sculpting, the design, and all that stuff looks pretty great, and like the hose piece there, and then just the overall facial expressions are fine, and they got a nice Cobra logo there. And last but not least, we have the iguana, which was basically Serpentor that was turned into this creature from the DiC series. If you haven't seen in the first episode of the GI Joe DiC series, Serpentor gets kidnapped from Cobra Commander, or by Cobra Commander and all the other Cobras that wanted to get rid of Serpentor, and then they transformed him into this little iguana thing. So very small for that matter, nice detail. It's not as big as the one depicted in the cartoon, bit rubbery there by the feet, but the sculpting, design, the coloring all came pretty fine, and the tail is just bendy, so that's fine. Otherwise, it's pretty decent. I wished it was a lot bigger because in the cartoon it showed him very big, but yeah, it's fine. Not a really much of a deal breaker, but it's good for what it is. So that is the iguana, aka or Serpentor. Alright, and now taking a look at Cobra Commander himself, the head sculpt is pretty good. I mean, you can see he's got the snake interior skin and scales on the inside, so that looks really good because like I said before, in the actual DiC series, he was the regular snake that transformed into a slight human, but he still had the scales. The skin color was green, so when Copperhead gave him the armor, it should have been realistically more like this. So I give the Hasbro GI Joe team credit for paying attention to small, minute details, which does make a big difference. The Cobra logo is fine. The helmet is good, well detailed. I like how, again, it's more on the silver sides compared to the muted gray. It's not too bad. I mean, it looks pretty much as good as it can be. So, I mean, Cobra Commander is a very menacing, ruthless leader, so I like the design of this and how it turned out. The torso, on the other hand, has some modern, or should I say updated sculpting, and it's one of those things where I kind of like and don't like at the same time, because we all know that the armor piece from the original had more of the spikes sticking out, but they kind of dulled it down to the sides, which kind of is a little bit disappointing, but I understand they wanted to make it a little bit more modern-esque, but I think they should have I mean, I don't know how you want to depict it. Like, you can really go a full-blown version of the 3-inch figure into 6-inch scale, or you can have like a new design to it. But whatever your preferred choice is, I think, some people might like it, some people won't, but it's fine for what it is. I mean, the blues are pretty decent, some interesting sculpting there, some vertical sculpting there inside for the collar piece, which is fine. The shoulder pads, I think, were a bit different from the old figure, but it's still fine for what it is. At least it can move up and down, which is really good. The armor pieces has some blacks, and then you can see the gauntlets with the same trigger fingers, which are good. And then the blues, all that, the hose piece, all connecting to the back of the outfit as well. We can see more of the red straps, and then the back silver plate for the figure, and then the little silver spine there, which is nice. I mean, you can see some texturing and sculpting there by the outfits, which gives you the idea of what type of material this figure uses in terms of his outfits, but otherwise it looks pretty good. I mean, I like it. It's not too bad. And then we got the belt, which is fine. Got the nice Cobra logo with the silvers and then reds, looking pretty good. Got the crotch piece, that's fine too. And I just forgot to mention, there's some nice sculpting there by the gauntlets, so I do like that. So like I said before, I like how the silvers do pop on this figure, which helps out for sure. We got some RoboCop-esque designs here on the bottom, which is fine because that's how it's supposed to be, so it's very accurate to the source material. Some good sculpting there by the pins, some nice riveting there as well. Armor piece looks fine, some blacks, kind of breaks up the silvers. Good sculpting there on the sides. You can see there's a little bit of marbling on the sides of the figure, so not bad. It looks pretty decent. I mean, it kind of adds a little bit more coloring and texturing to the figures, so it's not too bad. And then the bottom of the feet looks good, pretty standard, and yeah, it's not bad. It's a pretty decent looking figure. Let's go ahead and equip this guy with most of his accessories, and then we'll give a final verdict. Alright, so here we have Cobra Commander equipped with basically his very minimal accessories, and there's one thing I'm a little confused at, and that's the holster that he has here. Now, I don't recall him having a small gun for him to put into the holster, so is it for this weapon, or is there another weapon that he came with that they did not include, or is it supposed to be empty? Because I tried checking the packaging and there wasn't anything there, so is it supposed to be empty? I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. But otherwise, as a whole, the figure does look pretty decent. I mean, it is Cobra Commander and it is the armored version. Now, I know that this basically, the color scheme is very reminiscent to the 2001 2-pack with Laser Viper, whereas the original O-ring, that armored Cobra Commander had more of a teal color on the inside here, so that teal color will definitely maybe be a reissue somewhere down the line, but this is more the darker blues. And one thing to note here is that if you look down here, you can see that there are 2 holes there. It could be for the jetpack, I suppose, so that's one thing to note if that's accurate. So this is one of those really interesting, bizarre designs of, we don't really know what exactly this Cobra Commander does, but otherwise it's still fine for what it is, and it's a nice addition into the classified line. So regardless of whatever the situation is, it's still pretty decent, and I like it for what it is. Even though he does come with very minimal stuff, it is a very nice looking figure, and I'm very happy for it. So thank you so much, Mr. Sampson, for the subscriber gift. Alright, you guys, so that was the armored Cobra Commander. So I want to thank Mr. Sampson, aka Santa Sampson, so much for the subscriber gift. It's a freaking awesome figure, and I absolutely love it. And it's a nice, great addition into my classified line. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to give a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more reviews on the channel.